Hey guys, after much promise and after literally months and years of delays, it feels so good to say hello and welcome you all to the first ever Whiskey Wednesday for our first pilot episode of Dram That's Good Scotch Review. Um, for those of you who don't know me, I'm assuming most of you do because it's just going out on Facebook and Twitter, so it's people that have known me for a long time. But for those of you who don't, my name is Josh Warren. I am a huge fan of Scotch. I've been drinking a variety of different malts for a very long time, and this is always just something I wanted to do. Um, this first episode, like I said, is going to be a pilot, total proof of concept. I have no idea where we're going to go with this, and therefore I have no idea if this is going to be funny or goofy or serious. But the one big thing I wanted to do, because I've been to a ton of tastings, I've been to a ton of reviews, I've done lots of drinking in a very short amount of time, I guess I should say. And something that I've always noticed is there's a lot of voices out there telling you what you should and shouldn't drink based on this, that, or the other, but they don't necessarily talk to everybody. They talk to you assuming that you have an unlimited budget. They talk to you assuming that you know every little nuance of flavor. They speak to you in ways like the average person, I'm not saying I'm dumbing down the product, but a lot of the average people don't get that stuff. So, what I wanted to do is sort of a more, blue collar is not the term, but more of an everyman Scotch review, where I review things that, someone like you might go buy. If you're watching this and you got $50 in your pocket and you're like, ooh, is this really worth buying? I'd like to try that first. This is going to be the perfect show for you. And I hope to make it fun and enjoyable and honestly just have a little fun myself just talking to you guys about drinking good stuff. So this first episode, again, this is a pilot, total proof of concept type thing. No idea where I'm going with this, other than that I'm going to review something special because it is a pilot and because I love the idea of doing a proof of concept. This is going to be a lot of fun for me. So, for the first episode, I was like, well, I got to do something a little beyond the average. I mean, I got plenty of bottles that I could go out and buy a $40 or $50 and be like, all right, go drink this. But I wanted to do something a little more special. And I got one just recently, actually, that was perfect for the occasion. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do like an unboxing in every episode, but this is some Glenfiddich 21. Very good stuff. You may notice that, in fact, as funny as this is, the box is empty. That's going to be my first point of criticism for this guy, and it's a totally unfair criticism, but it's that bottle is a bitch to get out of the box. So rather than leaving the bottle in there, and maybe in the future I'll do a remake of this pilot episode where you can see me struggling to get it out of the box, this is the bottle. And as you may have noticed, it's already got something missing out of it. I actually used this to celebrate a special occasion. I just recently got married, as a lot of you know, and the night before the ceremony I had my best man and my groomsmen over and a couple other friends, and we cracked into it because, hey, how much more special do occasions get, right? And we got a lot of mixed reviews on it, actually. For a 21-year-old, you would think everyone would say, oh, people, they see the high age statement, they just assume it's going to be awesome every single time. But I've had this one out of my own collection and at a tasting now, and I gotta say, it's a surprise for people. Now, you're going to find this guy running about $170 to $220 is the price range I've seen online. I think if you can find it for $170, I think you'll be a lot happier. But there's a reason for that. So, let's start with the very basics of review. This will be a little more polished in the future, but let's start this off. Pop your top. You got the Reserva Rum Cask finish. I don't know if that's Reserva or Reserva. I'll be honest, I'm not really 100% sure. But it smells damn good. What you get out of the nose on that one, and I'm not gonna condescend to people here. I'm not gonna act like if you're watching this channel you don't know the basics of tasting whiskey. Maybe sometime I'll do like a basics of tasting whiskey video. But quick point of fact: if you're gonna inhale like that, mouth open, very gentle whiffs through the nose. Otherwise, you're just gonna get pure alcohol and burn your nostrils, and it's gonna smell like shit. If you come at it the honest way, though, mouth open just a little bit, just a little through the nose there. What you get off this, right off the bat, is rum. And the biggest critique I've heard about this one lately is a lot of people saying that it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's not that it's bad, it's that instead of it being an amazing Scotch whiskey with a hint of rum, it's like a good rum and a good whiskey are buddies, but they share a really tight living space and they can't quite get along with how to divide it. But I'm going to put that to the test right away here on camera. And pretty sure this kind of stuff doesn't fly by YouTube's rules, so goodbye to monetization. But cheers to the start of what should be a really, really fun channel that will hopefully be very helpful for a lot of you. See, the more I drink that, the more I like it. The more I have this particular 21, this rum cask finish, the more I find it to be a very pleasant front taste of rum. And again, I'm the kind of person who believes that there's no, and this is going to be, I promise you, a tagline, there's no wrong way to drink Scotch. I mean, obviously, if you're sitting out there pouring 30-year-old drinks into like lemonade or ginger ale, people are going to give you some stink eye, and it's going to be kind of funny. But I just like my stuff straight. I don't usually add water or ice. I just like it as it is. And this one, the first time I had it, it just felt like it was a rum trying to be a whiskey. On a second taste, third taste, it changes a little bit. The bottles had more time to aerate, get a little more oxygen in there, which does change the flavor profile a little bit. Really basic stuff. And the more I drink it, the more I find they can work. They can get along. This isn't quite a perfect blend of rum and Scotch, but it's satisfying. It's very enjoyable, you know? Second drink, what I like to do especially for the second sip of anything that I have is really give it time to sit on the tongue front and back, because your olfactory senses do respond differently front and back of the tongue. And also, the further your nose gets into the glass, the more you're going to get those flavors, honestly. So, second sip, let it sit on your tongue a little bit more, you know? Give it a little more time to get some oxygen in there. Breathe through your nose a little bit. Let it coat the whole tongue, the whole roof of your mouth, and you're going to get a lot of different complex flavors. One thing I hate, and I'm an author, so I know all about big words and shit. One thing I hate is that whiskey reviews have this tendency to describe things in ways that nobody can understand. Or at least maybe like the 99th percentile of people have this great of taste buds that they can actually pick out. Like, I'm getting dragon fruit and allspice and a little bit of just capsaicin. How very odd. You know, I'm not going to pull that shit with you guys. I want this to be something, like I said, that if you're watching this in passing and you're like, hey, what's your honest opinion about this? Is this worth $190 if I go out to a store and see it? Maybe. I would definitely try and find a place where you could try this in person to see if it's for you, because I think people who like sherry bombs, people who like really sweet stuff, I think they'll love the front end of this, but it finishes like a basic Scotch. So if you're drinking it expecting to get a ton of rum, what you find is you get a little bit of rum flavor on the front. You get those normal sweet notes of rum. You get because, you know, rum is sugar-based. You get a lot of sugar on the front. And it very quickly gives way to a Scotch that could be better, I think, if they hadn't toyed with it so damn much. Which ends up making it, in my opinion, fall a little bit short of being worthy of that price tag. But final sip here, at least for the video. You're damn right I'm going to finish this. It's really good. It's incredible. Like, I'm not going to abuse the word. There's a joke going around some of the forums I'm on about the word smooth should be banned from describing Scotch. And I actually, as much as it's a funny joke, I will say that smooth is overused. I mean, you're drinking poison. You know, alcohol is effectively a poison to the human body. You're drinking poison. It shouldn't be that smooth. But for a very basic description of what this is, it's sweet on the front, finishes like a Scotch on the back. You get plenty of vanilla and caramel notes in the front end of it, mostly vanilla finish on the back end. And because it's a 21 year, it has aged enough that the burn is pretty well taken off. That's when people are talking about being smooth. What that usually means is just that the, quote, burn that everyone associates with alcohol has completely faded off of it, or at least mostly. This one actually doesn't finish so smooth that you're thinking to yourself, like, oh, it's a 21, it's so smooth. It's actually not. It's a little abrasive on the end, and I like that. Typically, more abrasive and younger Scotches tend to have a little more of a bite to them, but that bite comes along with more flavor, so it's worthwhile. This is a 21 year, a little more up there it has a decent bite to it. It's not as smooth as you might expect from a 21, but I actually really like the flavor profile that it gives. Also, I lied, I'm going to take another sip because my throat's getting dry. God, that does have a beautiful color. Nice slow legs on that one too. You know, again, I'm not going to go too crazy into the tricks that I do here, but anyone who's ever been to any sort of Scotch tasting can tell you, and I don't know if the camera can catch that. Nah, not really. The essential oils slowly come down the side of the glass. That's when they talk about whiskey having legs. That's exactly what they mean. And the slower the legs, typically the older the Scotch. This one, it shows up like a 21 year. It looks pretty good. Great color to it, great nose to it. You could, honestly, even if you're not a fan of rum, for the flavor, you could sit and smell this damn thing all day, and it's just delicious. But for the price point, and for an everyman style review, this is one that you should really try and find a tasting at one of your local grocery stores or liquor stores, and get out there and try this first. Because I don't think I could justify spending $190 on this if I had bought it myself. It was gotten for me as a gift, and thank you very much. Oh God, I can't remember the guy's. I feel like a jerk. I can't remember the guy's real name. I met him at a book signing I was doing, actually, not to sound horribly arrogant, but that's where I met him. Big fan of mine, said that I deserved a nice bottle, so thank you very much in advance or actually, in retrospect, for the wedding present. It has served well. I'm definitely going to finish this thing before too long, but I would recommend, if you can find it at a tasting, try it at a tasting, because this is one that's just a little too out there to say, well, I threw away $200 on it and I don't regret it. Because if you throw $200 in a bottle and you're not a big fan, you'll regret it. Pure and simple. Last sip, maybe? We'll see. All in all, though, again, no idea what I'm doing here. Is this going to be a rating scale? I'm not sure. If I had to give this, say, out of a 10, I'd give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty damn good. Would definitely pair it, if you're going to do it like with a cigar, I'd pair it with a sweet tip. If you can find rum tips, that'd be perfect. Something with vanilla or cognac would actually work just as well, and they're easier to find as well. Not a bad summer sipper, but it is a little bit heavy for like really hot summer months. Yeah, really enjoyable, good mouthfeel, great smell to it. Again, if you could make a candle out of that, it'd be wonderful. But not bad. We'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 on the scale. And we'll say definitely for the price, though, being around $190 to $200 average. If you can find it in a store, try it in a store first if you can get a sample. If you can't get a sample, again, if you like sherry bombs, take the plunge. You'll probably be really happy that you did. Well, for proof of concept, I think this was pretty good. I had a good time, and I wanted to keep these episodes to 5 or 10 minutes apiece, and we're already at like 13 now. I'm not going to do any editing. I'm not going to change anything because it's a pilot. And I want to hear criticism about the whole thing, so I know what to cut, what to improve on. You could say, what I should add, what I should take away, that kind of thing. So don't be shy. Let me know what you really thought about this. Let me know if there's anything you would add or change. There will be another episode. Again, this is just a pilot, and I'm not going to. I'll upload it as it is, and I'm really not going to change anything right off the bat. Basically, I'm just going to take notes and apply them to the next episode as it's done. So there will be another episode. Yeah, I'm not sure what else I got for this. I'm really glad I finally sat down and did this, mostly just for my own sake. Like I said, this is just something I want to do for fun. And if people enjoy it, and if it can be a little funny, and a little educational, a little informative, and I get to drink a little scotch, that's a beautiful thing. Hopefully you'll learn a little bit. Hopefully you'll enjoy something if you decide to go out and try it tonight. And I did come up with a good tagline, though. That's the whole writer thing. There's a lot of criticisms about what's the best way to drink whiskey. You hear people saying, oh, do it with water, do it without water, do it with ice, do it without ice, mix it, do this, do that, drink it out of a specific thing. That's all shit. You know what? You should drink your whiskey the way you want to drink it. But I feel like it's a fitting tagline because I think everyone should just do what makes them happy. I feel like it's a fitting tagline to end on to say, remember, the best way to drink your whiskey is from a glass. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next Wednesday.